Hello and welcome to the round 13 review for Supercoach 2022. And as predicted, this week was shit. We dropped back into very familiar territory. We're in the top 2%. I'm not going to lie, I was really enjoying being up in the top 1% for the first time ever. I know it only lasted a week, but it was a special feeling until, a fair bit of rookie carnage, a couple of captains and probably more importantly, 16 on-field players over round 13. Absolute bloody carnage, really. Not injury carnage, but just general Supercoach carnage. First ever score I've had in the 1600s, and it come at a pretty shitty time, just when we were really finding momentum. But that's all right. We'll get straight into it anyway. So, 1,691, top 31% score. So, pretty bang average. And we dropped 1,332 spots in the ranks. And DR has overtaken me again. I think he's about 80 spots in front of me, 80 or 100. So, it's super close of us. It's neck and neck. So, going to be interesting. I think he probably comes home strong because he's a absolute freak. And I've done some pretty questionable things. I'm not going to lie. 2 out of 10 league wins, that can be expected. I thought we'd do a little bit better than that. I guess a positive is, I picked Josh Kelly over Parrish, Welsh and Merritt, and they were really huge talking points last week, especially on Twitter. So to get Kelly was a real win, but the real, unfortunate thing with getting Kelly is we actually captained him. So, the VC didn't quite eventuate, and Callie was going off early. We'll touch on him now while we're talking about him. So, 111 isn't too bad, but in a week like this, you need all the points you can get. And a C on Oliver or Neil or anyone really, it would have been so much more beneficial. But, Callie started really good. Started like a house on fire against North, and then they sent Kane Turner to him relatively early, and I don't know why they did that. They tagged him, not getting smashed, but they still kept tagging him. Made no sense, but it is what it is. Really frustrating. So it's the rule. It's the golden rule, isn't it? And I broke it. One of my rules is don't really go for a captain on debut, and that's sort of where I went wrong. So it's all right. But I thought against North Melbourne he tore him to shreds, but it was actually Cornelio that did. 170 plus in 58% of teams, but not in my team. So another reason to why we had such a shit week, and it could have been worse too. So imagine if I had picked up Parrish or Welsh, and then, let's say Gawn went off his head against Collingwood, which is definitely possible, but he only scored 70, so it could have been so much worse. But nonetheless, I'm happy to get this week out of the way. It's done and dusted. We can assess the situation and the team coming into round 14, which looks like it's probably the most friendly buy for my team anyway. So, we'll get into it. So, James Sisley, unreal, just super consistent. We've got nothing on him. Probably D1 for the whole year. Maybe he's ahead of Stewart just because he's a little bit more durable, has played more games, scored more consistently. So, the Sisley selection was definitely the right call. Jack Sinclair, he was good too. He was fantastic. Ever since, as I said last week, Jack Steele went down, Sinclair's just benefited quite well. So, if you don't have him in, I think you can get him in. Depends if you can afford or not. But he's been super, and I got him in when he was in less than, I think he was in 8% of teams, if that, when I first got onto him. So, been a really handy pod. Not so much of a pod anymore, though. I think people are starting to give him the recognition and credit that he deserves. Georgie Hill, it's fine. Jack Crisp, I thought he was a bit better than 119. Kicked a goal late. Maybe I thought he'd get scaled up a little bit more for that. But, 119, absolutely superb. Played a great game. Rain off half-back through midfield. He's playing a half-back role in the midfield. So, it's one of those things. He pushes up and he gets on the end of some goals. So it's good to see. Jane Short, that's all right. I think I'd never pick him again, if I'm being honest. Been pretty consistent, but nothing really more than that, in all seriousness. Ware was great. He's been a good rook so far. We get Dawson and Parnell back. So I got Parnell in the team. I thought about getting Dean, going early on Charlie Dean, but it's risky because I need the points on field. Hopefully Parnell plays. I thought he did okay on debut, and I think Adelaide give him another crack, an extra on-field option, so that's more beneficial. So yeah, he will most likely play. I got my fingers crossed there. Onto the midfield, Oliver, a clear captaincy. Had me scratching my head, man. He was on, I think he had over 15 touches at quarter time. That's where you know that shit's about to get real with Oliver. However, only ended up on, I think it was 40-something. 46? I can't remember. But when I say only, I mean that is unreal. So, yeah, really, really damaging player. He's improved his outside game as well. So we can rely on him to score a little bit better because, yeah, he's not only killing opposition through the stoppage, he's accumulating a little bit more, probably more than he has ever. So from now on, he's a very viable captaincy option. Probably will be my go-to VC from, well, probably the remainder of the season. So, yeah, he's been unreal. You just have to pick Oliver every single year, really. He's a star. Lachie Neale, he dropped off a bit, was on 70-something at half-time, I reckon. Yeah, he was just going off, so that's all right, though. 123, if you had the VC on him, if I didn't, but if I did, I'd definitely be taking that every day of the week. And Josh Kelly, I just discussed him, and, yeah, quite disappointing. If I didn't captain him, I'd be happy with that score because, I mean, how good is Kelly? He copped up. It wasn't just a tag. I mean, Kane Turner wore him like a glove. Every single stoppage, he had attention. Bloody Horn Francis knocked him over as well. He was on the bench for a little bit. So, yeah, well done to Jolly. I know it doesn't look like it's the best score, but honestly, I mean, a 111 is huge under the circumstances, and it's a bit unfortunate that he did get tagged because if he didn't, it's easy to see him go 150 plus. He was on fire early. I don't think he was getting tagged in the first 10 minutes, and yeah, he already had a goal assist. I think he won one of the first clearances, and he was on 35 at quarter time. So yeah, he was doing whatever he wanted, and then excuse me. So yeah, copped a bit of attention and really dropped off. So yeah, as a captain, a bit flat about that, but as a pick, I still think the sky's the limit because yeah, I'm overall pretty happy with it. Nonetheless, considering it was a pretty full-on tag. Brayshaw, super stuff. I think just a little bit ineffective with his disposals. Always has been. It's always going to be that same issue with Brayshaw. But nonetheless, he's in not Brownlow form, but top 5. He's playing unreal footy. Probably sits at an overall M9 in Supercoach, but in general, I think he's a top 5 midfielder. If you rule out all the Supercoach stats, he's been absolutely unbelievable. And if there's anyone that can carry Freo to a flag, it's him. He's been sensational. He's great to watch. He's a great pod. I think his ownership's that high. Cripper was good. I think I VC him this week against Carlton. That's sort of what I'm probably going to go with. Not safe and reliable, but had a good score against them in round 1. So hopefully he can back that up against a Richmond team that aren't really notorious for tagging or anything like that. So I think that's fine. Hamilton did play. Owens, this is really disappointing. A bit of carnage over the buys. It's how inevitable is it? That's Supercoach for you. And what really not upsets me, but makes me a bit flat about this is he was on fire. This happened about, was it halfway through the second term when he got knocked over, and he was already scoring pretty well. Got scaled down for that, which is an absolutely absurd rule. If you know my take on that, but he would be playing next week because he puts his head over the ball and hits it like Zach Butters, which is he's unreal. Got great courage for a young man against a hard Brisbane midfield. So yeah, he lost no fans, Owens, but I don't think we get him this week. Probably don't at all, to be honest. So yeah, really flat. And the bench, well, we get these guys back, which is really good. We need them. We've been struggling. And then onto the ruck. So Darcy, he was me VC, and oh my God, it's just been another flat score. If only, we need him to step up over this time of the year, over the buys. He's a pod, and he's doing a lot of damage to my team. And even though he scored more than Gawn, I'm just not convinced with it. It's been really dicey. Keep in mind, Sean Darcy has one of the best track records against Hawthorn. And I thought, they don't even have McAvoy in the team. I know Reeves was there, but he just really struggled. I don't know what's going on with him. But if there's anyone that could benefit from a break and a bye, it's definitely Sean Darcy. So hopefully with some fresh legs, we get him back bigger and better than ever over round 15. That would be more than ideal. But yeah, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing at the moment, and I'm expecting him to sort of lift and set the tone. So yeah, that's what we want from Darcy. We'll forgive him for now, but yeah, he's on my watch list. I'll have a couple of trades extra, and it might be one that I flip to Gawn depending on who finds form when. But yeah, I'm not really that confident with this at the moment. Hayes, what are the chances of this? So yeah, sick. Oh, unreal. He's coming back this week, hopefully. But even if he does, I think I still got to get rid of him. I need the cash to do my next upgrade, and he's my most expensive rookie by a long shot. So he's probably got to go. I think it's fine, but yeah, of all weeks for him to miss a game. It's not even the fact that he got omitted either. Like, it was just illness. It was just unfortunate. You get that, but we move on. And I myself and a lot of the competition probably go down as well. So yeah, I guess it's all right. Still a bit frustrating. Lucky for non-Bruce owners that he didn't play, because people that held the faith with Bruce, and then if he played, that would have been quite devastating as a Hayes owner. So I guess they both went down, which yeah, it's not too bad in hindsight, but would have much preferred the points on field. In the forward line, yeah, this was a real shamble, wasn't it? I mean, look at donuts just left, right and centre. We had 3 of them. So, yeah, English and Bont, gee, we need them to play this week. Rioli, yeah, that was a laid out. Omitted for Clark, a rookie that I missed. I wanted to get Judson Clark. I thought about going early on him, but I literally couldn't. I needed a defender rookie, and that's why I went early on Parnell. So there was nothing that I could do about it. I didn't have the DPP. I tried everything, and it just couldn't work out. So, when he kicked 2 early goals, oh man, I was scratching my head. I was really worried about that. But yeah, we'll probably get him in this week, I reckon. So yeah, Will Brodie, 82. So I am worried. I'm not going to lie. I love Will Brodie. He's one of my favourite players at the moment, because he's just been the real shining light of my Supercoach team this year. But with Fife back in the side, you can tell that his 105 average may drop down to 100, which is still really good, but it is quite alarming. I mean, still getting more CBAs, but yeah, I don't know, 82, it's still fine, but yeah, one to watch. I think if you're trading him out, which is absolutely obscene if you are, oh yeah, nearly 3%. Oh, he's going to make people pay for that, hopefully. Obviously, after his bye, I can completely understand why people get rid of him for the on-field points, but I mean, he's pretty much F3 to 4, so yeah, I wouldn't panic too much, but just one to keep a real close eye out on, I reckon. So Zach Butters, this is a tough one. So 87, it's fine, but he's not a top 6 forward. So what I reckon I'm going to do this week is hold him, obviously, you have to, do my last forward upgrade, and then next week try convert him to somebody else that is going to be a top 6 forward. It's risky. It's a luxury trade. I think I've got some luxury trades in all seriousness. So, yeah, I think hold Butters for this week, and then depending on what he does, probably dish him off, because, yeah, it's going to hurt me in the long run having him at F6, because, I mean, a 92 average, it's just not good enough. I'm not copping that. I'm not copping it from Heaney, and I'm probably not going to cop it from Butters. So, yeah, I'm really fluent with getting rid of him. Bit of a outrageous call, but that's just my take on it. And that's just about it, really. Butler, just good to have some coverage, but yeah, I'll probably get rid of him this week just because he's got his bye, and I need some cash, which sort of brings me over to my trade. So this is what we're going to do. So most likely anyway, so Hayes has got to go just because of all the cash. Same justification with Roses. Boy, would I love to hold Roses, but I don't have anyone around that price. I'm losing all my cash gen, so I need to do my last upgrade, which is probably understandable. And Butler, well, I'm only getting rid of him because he's got his bye, and hopefully we get Rioli back. So that would be the logic for that. So Clark will come in, on-field coverage. Surely he doesn't get dropped after that performance. Hopefully Rioli comes back too. That would be so handy if we had them both in. And Canelio. So this is a bit of a defensive move. So initially I was always going to get Parker, but I think with the 58% of the competition that have Canelio, with a break even of less than 30, I think you got to get him in. Coming off a 170, he beat up on North, and ever since Leon Cameron has left, his footy has just gone through the roof. That was poor awareness from me getting rid of him there. I was lucky because I traded him out, and a week later he went 30 against Carlton in Leon's last game. But in hindsight, I should have known that this was going to be much more beneficial for Cornelio in the long run with McVeigh taking over. So, yeah, I think he's definitely a top 6 forward from here on out. Definitely not overall at the moment, but yeah, I think the confidence is up. He's a real confidence type player, and if you watched any of that game on the weekend against North, I'll tell you what, he did whatever he wanted, and yeah, it hurt to watch. So nothing more unbearable than watching Kelly get tagged and Cornelio not own him going off on a Sunday arvo. It's raining outside, the mood's a bit gloomy. It's one of those things. So we're going to get him in this week, and then next week I'm probably flirt with the idea of turning Butters into Parker, and that way my forward line's pretty good. So that's a little bit of an idea. And then we get Teakle. He's been playing really good footy in the sample, so one that might be likely to make his debut relatively soon. I think they will persist with him. Maybe they give him a game or two. He's more so there because of his DPP, his price and potential, etc. So, yeah, we'll go through with it. 86k to go Butters to Parker next week, which I think is doable. Butters with a break even of, I think it's 85. So if he can hit the ton, I'll go 90s. That'll be fine. And Parker's pretty sort of at his peak too. Doesn't look like he's going to go up or down in price. He's just going to lurk around that mid 500k. So this will be the team. And captains for this week, yeah, as I said before, Cripper against Richmond. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a few dogs as well that you could go for, but I guess I do get a bit nervous with putting VC and captaincies on dogs when they play the Giants. Always happens. There's always a tag. Somebody underperforms. So I think Cripper for Wits. Wits plays Adelaide, so he's got a good track record against them, and he's probably my most consistent player. Other than, I don't know, Jally. I don't want to go with it. Maybe Laird against Gold Coast. I don't know. Haven't decided. I'll announce that on Twitter. But yeah, this is a team coming into the last bye. That is round 14. We'll get Darcy off for English. So how many have we got? So we're fine in the forward line, fine in the rucks. All good in the midfield. Won't get these two. It's a shame. But hopefully Owens is okay. But I think I'm 95% sure that he's definitely going to miss, and then Oliver will captain him if Cripper goes off, and then yeah, we're looking all right. I think it's a good side. I'm expecting a response. I'm a bit flattered about the rank change. It does hurt. 5 trades left with a full team, so a luxury trade to get Butters to Parker would see me with 5, and then got the money here. Hopefully we can get there. I don't know yet. All depends on price changes and stuff like that. And then 4 trades for, emergencies, injuries, whatever carnage that the Supercoach gods have to throw at us. And then maybe another potential luxury trade, for example, if, I don't know, let's say Cripper or let's say Jolly gets injured. This is why I got Kelly in. So it's one of those things, you don't get players like this in because he burnt me last year. He's always had problems with his Achilles, I think it is, real soft tissue stuff going on. So if he gets injured, it's just a straight up swap to Mills or someone like that. So yeah, I didn't pick him for no reason. I mean, if I didn't have the trades and the luxury of, because I'm preparing for the worst, I'm expecting him to get injured. That's just how it is. It's sad to think that because it's real glass half empty type stuff. But yeah, I do have the insurance, 5 trades. So and a projected score of 2026. Bit of a tongue twister that, but I think not that means a whole lot, but it's good to see a projected score in the 2000s because, yeah, scoring the 1600s, man. Oh my God, it just hurts. It really, really hurts, but hopefully we can push back up to the 1% next week and stay there because I know a lot of teams are going to get hit hard. Rory Laird playing this week. He's a pod, and that's huge for me. So, yeah, little factors that make the team look all right, but you'll end it here, guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good season, tracking nicely over the buys. Yeah, it was going swimmingly really in the round 12 buy, and then yeah, straight back to reality. We've been the top 2% before, so yeah, nothing out of the ordinary there. But yeah, let me know what you guys reckon of the team. Anything I should do? Should I hold off on Hayes, or yeah, we'll see how we go. I'll keep you updated on Twitter. But for now, take it easy. Look after yourself, everyone. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.